Hey guys, Cade Wilcox here. In today's video, we're going to talk about vision and why it matters. It really is the roadmap to your future. And so here's the thing, in 10 years of working with business owners and partnering with them, you would be shocked. You would be amazed at the number of people who just don't have a vision for their business. They have no idea where they're going. They don't spend any time on it. And I think this is a really critical error. It's a critical misstep. For example, if you wanted to sign up to run a marathon, you're never going to sign up to run a marathon and then not have a vision or a plan on how you're going to go from where you are today to race day and completing 26 miles. It just doesn't work that way. And yet that's how a lot of us treat our own business. We just kind of show up and think somehow miraculously we're going to get where we want to go. And it just simply doesn't work that way. So here's some things that I've learned along the journey, and maybe they'll help you. The first thing is, what do you want? It's okay. In fact, I think it's critical to ask yourself, you, the owner, the leader, or the leadership team, whatever it looks like in your company, what do you want? You have to start there. And I think that's a really critical first step. So spend some time reflecting, like, what do you want out of your life? What do you want for your life? What do you want for your business? What do you want out of your business? I love owning a business. It's a lot of work. It comes with some risk. It comes with challenges. But what in life doesn't, right? But what I love about owning and leading a business is I get asked that question, like, what do I want? I can't separate my life and my time and my work from the business. And so why try to? And so start with, like, what do you want? Some people just want a really small business, incremental growth, low stress. That's great. So what do you want? Some people want really big companies and lots of revenues and lots of team members. That's awesome. But you have to start with asking the question, what do you specifically want? I think the second thing that I try to spend a lot of time on is, like, this question of, like, what brings people value. So when I start thinking about what I want, and that starts to shape the vision or the future of the company or the organization, another question I often ask myself is, like, what would bring the most value to people? One of my favorite things to do in owning a business is hiring people. I love hiring people. If I could have 10,000 team members, I would. I love the process. I love building a team. And so I often ask myself, like, what brings my teammates value? And when I keep that in my mind, it tends to shape the types of decisions we make that are creating our future. Because the future I'm creating, it is for me. It is for my own vision, for my own life. But it is also as equally as important for the future of our teammates. And so I often ask myself, would this change? Would this decision? Would this envisioned future, this vision that we have for our organization, what value is it going to bring our team? What value is it going to bring our partners? What value is it going to bring our community? The third thing that I think is really critical when you're evaluating the vision for your organization is, where are you at right now? And I know a vision by very nature is in the future, but I think it's really helpful when we're thinking about where you want to go, and the vision or the future you're trying to create is, like, where are you right now? And so I don't spend too much time there. You don't want to get entrenched with the details and the realities of where you are now, because that can tend to really blind you from imagining and dreaming of a bigger future and having a bigger vision. But I do think a healthy dose of reality is a good thing, and it can shape and it can speak into where you want to go. Maybe it's things that you want to keep that are really going well, or maybe it's things that aren't going well, and so you want to eliminate them from your envisioned future. So I wouldn't spend a ton of time on it, but I would evaluate where are you now. The other thing that I often ask myself is, who and what do you need to move it forward? So when I think about a future, when I have a vision, one of the things I often think about, what assets do I have that can create this desired future and vision? Whether it be people assets, whether it be financial assets, but ask yourself, who or what do you need in order to move yourself from where you are to where you want to go? The other thing I think is really important is you have to write it down. You have to document it. You hear all the time, in terms of the power of writing down a budget and telling your money where it's going to go versus your money, just going wherever it wants. It's really the same thing about your future. It can't just kind of be this thing in the back of your head. It can't be something you spend 30 minutes thinking about one day and then move on and it happened. It just doesn't work that way. So you have to document it. There's a handful of resources that I think you could check out that have been really helpful to our team as we've gone through this process. And it's two things. One is a book by Michael Hyatt called Vision Script. It's really practical. In fact, it's so practical. It's sometimes hard to imagine it being more practical, but it's really helpful as it relates to going through this process of crafting a vision and writing it down, and it just gives you some handles for creating a vision. And then lastly is a thing called EOS, Entrepreneurial Operating System. If you just Google that, a whole host of resources are going to pop up, and they're really helpful as it relates to documenting and shaping your vision and shaping your future. So I'd challenge you, when was the last time you created space on your calendar for you to just dream and imagine and spend time truly reflecting on the vision, the future of where you're taking your organization? It's really critical, but it's not going to happen accidentally. You have to be intentional about it.